Okay, so this is SEO, Search Engine Optimization. I'm going to do my best not to bore you. SEO is not necessarily the sexiest of subjects, but we'll see what we can do. So where to start? Well, perhaps who am I is probably a good place to start. So if you don't know me, this is me. My name is Kevin Doherty. I am male. This is my date of birth, which makes me 32 currently, which means I'm over 18, 21, 25, but under 65. A lot of people think I'm American, but I'm not even Canadian, as some people do think. I'm actually Irish, more specifically from Northern Ireland, Derry in Northern Ireland, courtesy of Google Maps there. I went to this school. I usually fly with this airline to go home, which usually makes me feel like that. But then again, it did only cost me a penny. I like to read books by Andy McNabb. I'm a bit of a gadget freak, and I consider these to be tools of my trade, for which I'm very brand loyal. If you know anything about me at all, you will know that I am a big Apple's fan. I mean Apple, of course. Previously, I've worked for these companies, Peacock Stores, Allied Carpets, and Phones for You, predominantly in a sales role, middle to senior management level. So what's my history? Then around 99, 2000, I got into blogging, usually about things that interested me, things that I liked. And at the time, I was doing a lot of writing for websites about Michael Jackson. As this was 99, 2000, it had been some time since his last hit, but certainly a good decade before his next big hit. Anyway. Blogging got me into SEO because the sites that I was writing for wanted to get better results on Google, but they had other ideas. And I quickly realized that the sites that I was working for really weren't the right vehicle to meet the tasks. And of course, this was something that made me very unhappy. So I quickly realized I had a lot of learning to do, and also some learning for the people that I was working for. So over the next few years, I was educating myself on how the online environment worked. And what I realized by about 2006, that this would become more than just a hobby thing. This became a real passion in my life. And that's when Surfmarketing was born. In more recent years, we have these beautiful people who now work with us, which is fantastic. We're based at the Medway Innovation Centre by Rochester Airport, and some of you may have even graced the chairs in our office, for which we are grateful. So it's been a few years since then, and obviously our company has evolved, which brings me to the presentation that we've given, this presentation that we gave at the Sales Roadshow, courtesy of @Facilitator Kent, which you can find on Twitter, on Wednesday the 26th of January. So that's a little bit about me, Kevin Doherty. So SEO is one of those subjects that, for a lot of people, they come to us as a online marketing company, and they generally ask for, can you get X on top of Google? But really, I tend to think that they don't really know what their website is for yet. And when you look at what the existing assets they have in terms of online, they're not really fit for the target that perhaps their business has now evolved into since that site existed. So I tend to challenge people on terms of the design of their site. Does it fit with the demographic of the kind of client that would use their services or product? The actual content of the site, is it written in a manner that really represents the company? The pages on the site, is there a clear call to action? Like, what do you want those people who are looking at that page to do? And then we've got the coding of the site. Is it light enough? Is it valid code? Is it making sure that that site is going to load fast, as this is a clear principle from Google that your site must be fast loading? And you will not believe the amount of times I've had clients come to me with sites that have cost them several £1,000s that don't have the most basic SEO element of meta descriptions and meta titles in their site. How many times do you think I have looked at a site when I look at the home page and I look at the page title and it says home? a clear opportunity missed. And I do believe those firms that do that to clients have severely let them down. And that's all before you actually look at what your off-site SEO efforts are, if any exist at all, and of course whether or not they meet the requirements and the goals that you're looking to now hit. So, we have this attitude around that, build it and they will come. Well, that might have been true some time ago. I certainly haven't been involved in the online market when it was true. It's pre my days, but it's not true these days. So let me do my best to try and break it down for you. So keywords. I think the principle here is research. If you can find out what it is that you're doing, what it is that your customers are doing to find people like you, then you're off to a good start. But it does take probably quite some time to do the proper level of research that's going to reap you the highest of rewards. And really all this is going to cost you is time. So the other thing is to find a niche within your keywords. One of the services that we offer is web design. But there is a niche here, and that is that we're based in Kent. So perhaps people might be searching for web design Kent, or even Kent web design. Even more so, we're based in Chatham, so web design Chatham might be more appropriate. So that's a case of finding your niche by a geographical target, but there's other methods of doing it, but I'm sure you're getting the idea. The next thing to look at is how much of a challenge these terms are going to be. So if you look at web design, you will see, if you search for web design on Google, you will see that Google will give you a total of 624 million results. So that's websites that Google think are about web design. So, if you want to do well out of your search engine optimization efforts, really you're going to want to be on page 1 of Google. Ideally, you would want to be number 1, of course, but page 1, first 10, if you can get to the top half of that first 10, brilliant. So with a search term such as web design, you're going to have to be 1 to 10 out of 642 million. So as you can see, the challenge is going to be huge. For Web Design Kent, currently that's giving 3.9 million results, so a massive drop in the challenge. And of course in Chatham it drops even further to 624,000. Now across all these terms you can do some analysis further to find out what search volumes they give. But of course if you are going to get even a small percentage of the people who are searching in the arena of Web Design Chatham, the chances are that they're looking for a local firm, and if you are that local firm, then you're going to hopefully convert at a higher ratio than if you search for web design, or if you put your efforts into the word web design. We ourselves take the challenge of Web Design Kent, and as of today we are showing as page 1. Then you've got more long tail keywords, and an example for us might be CMS Joomla website developer. I'm not saying this is a term that we necessarily pursue, but it certainly is something we consider ourselves specialist in. So the search volume in a term such as that could be very, very low, but chances are that they're going to be looking for a specialist in those subjects, a developer, a specialist in Joomla, which is a content management system that we build our websites on. Again, with search volume being low, the conversion in theory should be much higher, and therefore the challenge could be a lot lower as well. Again, you've got to do your own analysis in terms of search volume, the challenge in terms of what other people are competing with that term, and your likely conversion rate. Then you can probably work out what words are the best place to start. And bear in mind, you can take this as stepping stones. Target a term such as Web Design Chatham, generate enough income for your business to secure that, and then go after Web Design Kent and move up the trunk. Yeah. So I want to just dispel a couple of keyword myths. Keyword stuffing, the method of just putting random words that are relevant to your business on your page, a really bad SEO tactic. It really is just written for the machine and not the user. Try and avoid doing that. it really isn't giving you any bit of benefit and is probably discrediting you as a supplier. Your footer text is considered to be the least important text on your web page, and again, often a place where people stuff keywords. Not really a worthwhile experience. Yes, put some useful links in your footer if it's relevant to the page, but again, try and make sure that your pages are set up for the user and not the machine. And the idea of stuffing your pages with a load of text purely written for the search engines and hiding it to your user by coloring the text the same as the background color as if it were not there. The search engines are fully aware of this kind of practice, and again, this discredits you and could actually knock your site off of the search engines altogether and never to be seen again. So hopefully that blows away some of the myths with regards to keywords and gives you some viable information.